Hello, my name's Steve Partner and welcome to Angling Times News. Is this week's top stories. Big fish anglers have this week been warned that any future record roach claim must include scientific evidence to prove the fish isn't a hybrid. In the past, eyewitness statements, together with good photographs of the fish, was all that was required from anglers who were bidding for a place in the history books. But now, confusion over whether recent claims are true thoroughbreds has prompted change. From now on, anglers will also have to produce a scale for DNA testing. A scale will also be required for rudd, crucian carp and silver bream claims. Other improvements to the British Record Fish Committee procedures include a network of experienced reps to go bankside to weigh and witness fish, and a new website featuring an up-to-date record list and claims procedures. Top specimen hunter and new BRFC recruit Andy Nellis believes the move will restore anglers' faith in the history books. It should have been a routine netting operation to ensure essential maintenance work could be carried out on a lake in the Midlands, but it ended up with local anglers clashing with the authorities when prized £30 carp were left stranded in silt. AT's news desk was inundated with calls on a double blunder by council engineers contracted to drain Swanhurst Lake in Birmingham led to excessive water being removed before the fish had been safely rehoused. Local anglers, unwilling to stand by and watch their stock perish, rushed into action by taking distressed fish and moving them to nearby waters in tanks and sacks. The incident took place when workmen opened the draining valve on the lake twice, despite calls for it to be shut down. The sports governing body has this week called for a scientific review into the closed season, a move that is certain to reignite the greatest debate in fishing. The National Federation of Anglers is questioning why the rivers are shut down across the country between March the 14th and June the 16th, claiming the current system is out of date and has little relevance to angling today. It wants the Environment Agency to conduct thorough research into the subject to prove once and for all whether the closed season is genuinely viable on conservation grounds or just an archaic bylaw that prevents year-round fishing. It's a move that's sure to provoke strong opinions, with the angling world seemingly split on the topic. AT editor Richard Lee has joined me in the studio to discuss the NFA's stance and their call for a scientific review into the closed season. Richard, tell me what you think of the NFA's call.
I can understand the frustrations. People for years have been fishing in Ireland, but at home we couldn't go fishing at all. But you've got to ask how much it's going to cost. Is it really worth it?
I think that's a fair point. I'd like to know what do you think the pros and cons are of fishing in the closed season? I mean, it is one of angling's greatest debates. I mean, where do you stand on what you think of the positives and negatives?
I think that the spawning period is actually quite short. So perhaps you could have a period, maybe June, shut down, but I think it's a bit longer at the moment.
Thanks for that then, Richard. Angling legend Chris Yates has landed his own fishing programme on Radio 4. The former carp record holder and a star of Passion for Angling will front Fishy Tales, 4 short shows that include a star guest. In the first episode, Chris is joined by comedian Paul Whitehouse, with the show set pursuing elusive carp. Other stars include master cane rod builder Edward Barder and top trouter Ronnie Butler, and author of the Book of the Eel, Tom Fort. The first episode starts on Easter Monday. Lake River news now, and Angling Times has just discovered that the River Dove Barbel record was broken in the final hours of the season. The well-kept secret finally leaked out when captor John Pulowski contacted AT headquarters with pictures of this 16-pound 4-ounce fish known as the Parrot. The fish took alleged boiling and sparks hopes that the Dove could go on to produce its first ever 17 next season. And finally, an angler from Georgia in the US has proved you don't need heavy line to catch heavy fish when he banked a 58-pound 3-ounce Dorado on just 2-pound line. If verified, the capture is a new IGFA World Line Class record. And that's all for this week, so see you next Tuesday for more Angling Times news.